Martinez, Drew Dilkins, Councillor Al Magny, Mayor Gary McNamara, Warden Tom Bain, Ron McDermott. Thank you all for joining us. Mayor Francis is on holiday this week and called me to offer his regrets that he couldn't be here as well. So thank you all for joining us. I am pleased to be here along with Premier Dalton McGuinty. Premier, when we were first elected 9 years ago, you said to Sandra and I and to the Cabinet and to the province that your top priority, infrastructure-wise, was a new border crossing at Windsor-Detroit, and your government is the first government to actually be building their portion of it. Thank you for your support. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Our government is pleased with the progress we've made to date. I know many of you have seen it. Get out there. It's astounding how quickly it's coming in. And speaking, Premier, as your finance minister, it is on time and on budget. 12,000 skilled jobs over the lifespan of the project. It's an enormous undertaking, and one that will serve this community, this province, and our country well. And something like 90% of the work is being done by local firms and local employees. So it is really something, I think, that's very special. But what's more special today is to welcome home the Right Honourable Herb Gray. Today by his daughter Elizabeth, who's with us as well. Thanks, Liz, for coming. You know, I don't know how many of you know this, but it was 50 years ago this year that Herb Gray was first elected Member of Parliament for Windsor-West. He served his community, his constituency, his province, and his country well over many years. He had an unyielding commitment to Windsor, to Ontarians, and all Canadians. He became a great national figure and is still highly regarded throughout the country. And that's why it's important for us to be here today. You know, his contribution spans a number of decades, a number of prime ministers, Pearson, Trudeau, Chrétien, Turner, the list goes on and on. And we in this community, I think better than anyone, know how important his public service has been, particularly to this community. So I'm pleased, therefore, to welcome, to pay special tribute to our friend Herb Gray. I'm pleased to welcome my friend, my colleague, our leader, our Premier, Dalton McGuinty.
Thanks so much, Dwight. It's great to be here with you, Charles. You know, I was thinking on the way in. I've been to Windsor on many occasions. Always been warmly received. It's good to see each and every one of you. But I've been to Chicharro, I've been to Caboto, I've been to Fogalar. I'm wondering, when are they going to take me to Murphy's? It has been my great honor and good fortune and tremendous privilege to serve Ontarians as their Premier. And you will have heard about my resignation to take place at the time of the election of my successor in January, and there'll be a swearing in. And when I announced it, my son was at the gym, and there were a couple of guys beside him working out. He didn't know them, and they didn't know him. So the news comes on the television, and the first guy says to the second guy, "Holy, McGuinty quits." So I've been doing this for 9 years, and 16 years as party leader. He says, "McGuinty quits." The second guy says, "Who?" The first guy says, "McGuinty, he quit." The second guy says, "Quit Quit what? So apparently the whole world does not in fact revolve around politicians or politics, and that's probably a very good thing. I'm delighted to see Sandra here. I am so pleased that she's seeking the leadership of our party, and I wish her the very best. I'm pleased to be here with Dwight and with Teresa, who has fast proven to be a classical Windsor politician in the Herb Gray, Dwight Duncan, Sandra Pupatella mold, chock full of integrity, incredibly hardworking, and fiercely loyal to her community. Keep an eye on this woman. It's an honor to be here to name the new Parkway after someone who's been among Canada's most productive and revered politicians, and one of Windsor's proudest sons, the Right Honourable Herb Gray. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to announce that the new Parkway will be officially known as the Right Honourable Herb Gray Parkway. It really is a fitting tribute to name a major roadway after Herb because he helped drive so much positive change during the course of his lifetime. And this parkway lives up to its name. Herb's built bridges with our greatest partner and ally, the United States. And now this parkway will be a gateway between our two nations and keep goods moving at Canada's busiest border crossing. Herb worked his entire career to promote growth and prosperity here in his hometown. And construction of the Herb Gray Parkway is supporting some 12,000 jobs for families in the Windsor area. Herb has been a champion of the environment, and the Herb Gray Parkway includes 300 acres of green space with recreational trails for the enjoyment of Windsor families. Herb's contribution to Windsor, Ontario, and Canada is, in a word, extraordinary. He truly is one of a kind. Much has been said about Herb's political achievements, about what he's done. But what's always drawn me to Herb is the way he has conducted himself, with integrity, humility, and always with perseverance. In 1990, when my father died as the NPP for Ottawa South, and I knew I just had to run in this place, I asked Herb if he would do me the great honor of nominating me as the candidate. Herb said yes, and he did so without hesitation. Herb has been serving all of us and saying yes without hesitation for a lifetime. He is self-effacing, self-deprecating, selfless. A few moments ago, I was chatting with Herb over in the anteroom there, and I said, Herb, I don't know if you get out much and see movies, but I strongly recommend the new Abraham Lincoln movie to you. He says, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I just hope people don't think I was there at the time. And never misses a beat. Never misses a beat. He's always been there for others, and especially for Windsor. You know, some politicians are liked. Some are respected. Very, very few are loved. Herb Gray is loved. Herb, please receive the honor of the naming of the new parkway in your name as a symbol of our respect and love for a truly great Canadian. Thank you. Sandra, just be grateful that Herb is not seeking the leadership of our party. Now I'd like to invite Dwight and Teresa and Herb and Liz to step over here with us, and we're going to unveil this great new sign.
They could have put it in red.
Mr. Premier, Ontario Minister and Deputy Premier Dwight Duncan, Teresa Piruzza, the new MPP for Windsor-West, the riding I represented federally for so many years, other honored guests, dear friends, thank you, Premier and Dwight, for your kind remarks. I'm so pleased to be here in Windsor, my home city. I'm honored to have this new parkway bear my name, and I thank the Premier. I thank him for this special tribute. I must say the sign is wonderfully, certainly impressive, and I look forward to it connecting with the new bridge. I am privileged to have had the opportunity to work on behalf of the people of Windsor and Canada for almost 40 years, and I thank the people of Windsor for their support during that time. They gave me the opportunity to participate in the development and implementation of programs and policies that enhance the lives of Canadians as both a member of Parliament and as a cabinet minister. And most of all, I have had the opportunity to work with wonderful people in Windsor for so many years, for all in our community. As Tom Cochrane sang, life's a highway, and I ride it all day long. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you again, Mr. Premier, for the honor that has been bestowed on me today. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much. It's certainly my honor to be part of today's presentation and the renaming of the Windsor-Essex Parkway to the Right Honourable Herb Gray Parkway. And it's great to see such a large gathering to celebrate the renaming and recognizing of the parkway. But as well, it's great that we all came back to welcome home Mr. Gray and Elizabeth. Welcome home. When I was reflecting on what to say today, I had to be mindful that I was at the end of the program, so much of what I might be thinking or what I might say here may have already been said. So if I repeat myself, please excuse me. I will begin with thank you. Thank you, Premier, for attending today. And thank you for supporting the renaming of the Parkway. Thank you to all in attendance today for sharing this announcement with us and with Mr. Gray. But most of all, thank you, Mr. Gray. Thank you for being the longest continuously serving MP. Thank you for your contributions to Windsor, to Ontario, and to Canada. For those in the room that don't know, Mr. Gray was first elected in 1962 and was re-elected 12 times after that. Couldn't even imagine, almost 40 years as a member of Parliament. The first election plus 12, re-elected 12 times after that, so 13 elections. That's right. Yes, he had 13 full elections, you're right. So then he served both in government and in opposition in a variety of roles. That amounts to 39 and a half years as an MP. No matter what his role was throughout that period, no matter what issue he was working on, he always had time for his constituency. He served our community for many years with never-ending devotion. He always made himself available for whomever came knocking on his door. I remember my father always talking about what a great man Mr. Gray was and how lucky we were that he was our MP, a true son of Windsor, always serving with honesty and integrity. I'm proud to say that I started with Mr. Gray knocking on doors many, many years ago. Over his many years as an MP, Mr. Gray certainly has played a role in the lives of many, particularly youth. Although some of us aren't youth any longer. For our generation, for our community, he is a giant. The Right Honourable Herb Gray Parkway will transform our community and have a lasting and positive impact, much like Mr. Gray himself. The Parkway will get trucks off local streets, will improve the flow of traffic, and position our regional economy to flourish. But there's also a direct tie between the Parkway and Mr. Gray's public life. Among his many roles, he served as Minister of Industry, Trade and Commerce, Minister of Regional Economic Expansion, and President of Treasury Board. Many of us will remember this community in the 80s and Mr. Gray's role, which was instrumental at that time. He took a lead, they took a risk, and at that time they saved Chrysler. The 1988 package, if we recall, that was negotiated brought the research and development to Windsor, which resulted in the minivan. At the time described as a cross between a van and a station wagon, which continues to be successful and a very crucial part of this community. Mr. Gray also traveled to Japan at the time to ask Japanese automakers to make direct investments in Canada for manufacturing. That's all to say to provide a background so that we all remember that Mr. Gray is a little familiar with the auto industry, with manufacturing, with this community, with the trade and impacts locally, provincially, and nationally. Two-way trade between Ontario and Michigan last year totaled $57 billion, and our area is the busiest corridor for that trade. So when I think of Mr. Gray, when I think of the importance of trade to our region and the impact of the Parkway, I can't think of a more fitting name for the Parkway than the Right Honourable Herb Gray Parkway. And thank you, everyone.